It is probably the most terrifying medium in the world. I can't tell you how often when they say 30 seconds to air, I think to myself, oh.
For years, television historians have debated the true reasons behind Bewitched's surprising departure from the airwaves. Many factors are cited, but one element stands out, an infamous scene that became a whispered legend. This was no ordinary episode. This was a line crossed, a boundary shattered, and the consequences were immediate and profound. What many overlooked is the sheer audacity of this moment, a creative gamble that backfired spectacularly, changing everything. This isn't just a story about a show ending. It's about the seismic shock one decision caused, an unraveling that was both public and devastating. The most shocking fact is how swiftly the tables turned. A spell goes wrong. Bewitched burst onto American television screens in 1964, a refreshing breeze of whimsy in a landscape often dominated by family dramas and westerns. At its heart was Samantha Stevens, a charming witch, played by the incomparable Elizabeth Montgomery, who marries a mortal advertising executive, Darren Stevens. Her promise to live a normal life, free from magic, was constantly challenged by her mischievous mother, Endora, and a host of other eccentric magical relatives. The show was an instant smash hit, captivating audiences with its clever writing, groundbreaking special effects. That iconic nose twitch alone consumed countless hours of discussion at water coolers nationwide, and the undeniable chemistry of its lead actors. It quickly became a top 10 series, a true cultural touchstone watched by tens of millions of households weekly, a staggering viewership of over 25 million people at its peak. This was more than just a sitcom. It was a phenomenon, a vibrant splash of color in a black and white world. But even the most enchanting spells can falter, and for Bewitched, the seeds of its undoing were subtly sown, culminating in a particular scene that, while not immediately recognized as a final nail in the coffin, represents a turning point, a moment that shifted the show's trajectory toward its ultimate conclusion. You see, the thing about beloved television shows is that they often build a delicate relationship with their audience, a trust that certain lines won't be crossed, certain expectations won't be shattered. This infamous scene, as the legend goes, was one such moment, a creative choice that many viewers found jarring, out of character, and deeply unsettling. It wasn't about a scandalous outfit or a suggestive line. It was something far more insidious, a fundamental challenge to the show's established reality. To put it mildly, the scene in question involved a portrayal of magic that felt less like charming mischief and more like something darker, more manipulative. Without giving away too much too soon, it strayed from the lighthearted, often clumsy use of witchcraft for comedic effect and ventured into territory that felt almost cruel. This wasn't the gentle magic of tidying a room or preparing a dinner party. It was magic used in a way that truly unsettled the core relationship between Samantha and Darren, a bond that was the bedrock of the entire series. For a show that prided itself on innocent fun, this felt like a betrayal. The audience had grown to love Samantha's good-hearted nature, her constant effort to adapt to the mortal world, and Darren's exasperated yet loving acceptance of her powers. This scene, however, presented a version of Samantha that many found hard to reconcile with the character they adored. The underlying tension between the magical and mortal worlds was always Bewitched's central premise. Darren's constant struggle to maintain a normal life, shielding Samantha's powers from his boss, Larry Tate, and their nosy neighbors, the Kravitzes, provided endless comedic fodder. But this particular scene, broadcast in one of the later seasons, pushed that tension to an uncomfortable breaking point. It tapped into a deeper anxiety that some viewers already harbored. Was Darren truly happy? Was Samantha's magic a gift or a gilded cage? The scene intensified these questions, leaving a lingering bitterness that was difficult to shake. While ratings were already experiencing a gradual dip, a common occurrence for long-running series, this instance served as a stark, undeniable example of the show losing its way. It was a visible crack in the magical facade, exposing a vulnerability that fans weren't prepared to see. Many people are crazy about preserving the integrity of their favorite characters, and this scene felt like a significant departure. The most shocking fact is how much a single creative decision can resonate and echo throughout a series. What many overlooked is that this scene wasn't an isolated incident. It was arguably a symptom of deeper issues plaguing the production. By this point, the show had already seen a significant cast change, with Dick Sargent replacing Dick York as Darren Stevens in Season 6, due to York's severe health problems. While Sargent was a capable actor, the transition was noticeable and, for some loyal viewers, unsettling. The dynamics shifted, the comedic timing felt different, and the original magic of the Darren and Samantha pairing was, to some, irrevocably altered. The weight of 8 seasons, over 250 episodes, was also taking its toll on the creative team and lead actors. Elizabeth Montgomery, in particular, was growing tired of the role and yearned for new acting challenges beyond twitching her nose and dealing with magical hijinks. This infamous scene, then, became a focal point for all these simmering frustrations and changes, a tangible representation of a show struggling to maintain its initial spark. The drama had increased, and the audience could feel it. But how did these behind-the-scenes struggles and one controversial moment culminate in the final cancellation? Cast conflicts and creative cracks. The transition from Dick York to Dick Sargent as Darren Stevens was perhaps one of the most publicly visible shifts in Bewitched's run, occurring in the show's 6th season. Dick York, the original Darren, was a beloved figure, known for his expressive face and comedic reactions to Samantha's magic. However, he battled severe chronic back pain, stemming from a past onset accident, which progressively worsened throughout his tenure on the show. By the 5th season, his health was a serious concern, forcing him to film many scenes while lying down or sitting, with scripts often rewritten to accommodate his physical limitations. The producers, to put it mildly, went to extraordinary lengths to keep him on screen, showcasing the depth of their commitment to his portrayal. This dedicated effort speaks volumes about the original Darren's importance to the show's dynamic. He even had special contraptions built into the set to support him during standing scenes. Eventually, the pain became too much, and York had to step away. His departure was a blow, both emotionally for the cast and practically for the show's narrative. Imagine having a character so central to a series suddenly vanish. The production team moved quickly to recast, bringing in Dick Sargent. Sargent was also a talented actor, sharing a physical resemblance to York, which was a strategic choice to minimize the disruption. However, for many viewers, the change was palpable. It wasn't just a new face, it was a shift in energy, a subtle but significant alteration to the core relationship that had driven the series for 5 years. The dynamic between Samantha and Darren, the very heartbeat of the show, had changed. This kind of cast alteration is often a gamble, and in Bewitched's case, it contributed to a sense that the show, while still magical, was no longer quite the same. The thing nobody tells you is that this recasting often marks the beginning of the end for many popular series, even if it's a necessary one. Beyond the Darren change, the exhaustive demands of producing a weekly sitcom were taking their toll on the entire cast and crew. Elizabeth Montgomery worked incredibly long hours, often 6 days a week for 10 to 12 hours a day. Over 8 seasons, this translates to thousands of hours on set, hundreds of episodes, and countless scenes. Playing the same character for such an extended period, especially one with a specific comedic rhythm and magical actions, can be creatively draining. Montgomery herself reportedly expressed a desire to explore more dramatic roles and to break free from the typecasting that often comes with playing an iconic character. She even directed several episodes in the later seasons, showcasing her artistic ambitions beyond acting. The most shocking fact is how much personal sacrifice goes into creating the beloved entertainment we see on screen. There were also reports of increasing friction on set, a common occurrence during the tail end of long-running productions. While the cast largely remained professional, the pressures of the declining ratings and the constant creative demands could lead to tensions. Agnes Moorehead, who played Endora, was a formidable actress who, while brilliant in her role, could be particular about her craft. Her strong personality, coupled with the weariness of the extended production, occasionally led to spirited discussions. These sorts of behind-the-scenes dynamics, while rarely impacting the final product in obvious ways, can slowly erode the collaborative spirit that makes a show truly sparkle. And you can see this everywhere, in many productions. The thing is, when the magic behind the cameras starts to fade, it's only a matter of time before it impacts the magic on screen. This steady erosion of cohesion and creative passion set the stage for moments, like our infamous scene, to be viewed through a harsher lens. So, while the change in Darren certainly marked a turning point, it was just one element in a growing tapestry of challenges. The rigorous schedule, the natural fatigue of a long-running series, and the changing landscape of television itself all played roles. The series, despite its initial groundbreaking success, was becoming a victim of its own longevity, struggling to maintain its freshness and its original spark. The very magic that made it shine was, for some, becoming a predictable routine. The controversy surrounding the scene amplified these pre-existing conditions, causing a significant crack in the foundation. But were there other forces at play, beyond the set, that contributed to Bewitched's eventual end? The end of innocence. As Bewitched continued its run into the early 1970s, the cultural landscape of America was undergoing a seismic shift. The 1960s, a decade of vibrant idealism and rapid change, had given way to a more cynical and realistic era. The optimism that had defined much of the previous decade was being eroded by the ongoing Vietnam War, political scandals, and a growing sense of disillusionment among the populace. Viewers, especially younger ones, were beginning to crave television that reflected the burgeoning social movements, political unrest, and everyday challenges of modern life. This audience no longer sought simple escapism. They wanted relevance and a mirror to their own complex experiences. In this evolving climate, a new wave of programming emerged, led by groundbreaking shows like All in the Family, which premiered in 1971. Norman Lear's masterpiece shattered previous sitcom conventions by tackling controversial topics head-on with biting humor and raw honesty. It brought discussions of racism, sexism, and generational conflict from the streets into the American living room. Similarly, shows like MASH used the backdrop of the Korean War to comment on the absurdity and tragedy of Vietnam, while The Mary Tyler Moore Show presented an independent, career-focused single woman, a character that was both aspirational and relatable to a generation of women redefining their roles in society. This new wave of programming emphasized gritty reality over fantastical escapism, and suddenly, the whimsical world of witches and warlocks began to feel a little out of step. Many people are crazy about progress, and television was certainly moving forward, leaving simpler narratives behind. Bewitched, with its gentle humor and magical problem-solving, represented a more innocent time, a comforting escape rooted in the sensibilities of the 60s. While comforting, it struggled to adapt to the audience's evolving tastes. The show's core premise, while brilliant, relied on a formula that became more apparent with each passing season. The repetitive nature of its storylines, a common pitfall for sitcoms that run for many years, became a significant weakness. How many times could Darren accidentally discover Samantha's magic, or Endora sabotage a client pitch with a poorly timed spell, before it felt like a rerun, even if it was a new episode? Other recurring plot devices, such as Aunt Clara's bumbling but well-intentioned magical mishaps or the constant near-comical efforts to hide Samantha's powers from nosy neighbors like Gladys Kravitz, began to feel worn. The characters, while beloved, also showed limited evolution. Darren Stevens' staunch and often stubborn insistence on a normal mortal life remained his defining trait from the pilot to the finale, creating a static source of conflict rather than a journey of growth. Samantha, for her part, was perpetually caught in the middle, her internal struggle between her heritage and her husband's wishes, often resetting at the end of each half-hour installment. The formula, once a cornerstone of its success, started to show its age. The will they or won't they tension, a cornerstone of many successful shows, wasn't present. Samantha and Darren were happily, if magically, married from the start. This lack of inherent forward-moving conflict, while initially charming, ultimately limited the show's dramatic possibilities and prevented it from engaging with the deeper, more nuanced storytelling that audiences were beginning to demand. Bewitched remained a delightful confection from another time, But in the new, more complex world of 70s television, viewers were starting to crave a more substantial meal. Did Bewitched truly end because of a shocking scene? Or was it something more? What do you think the future holds for shows when stars want to move on? Let us know in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe for more untold Hollywood stories.